What if I told you that you could take something you're already amazing at and use it to master anything else? Math, languages, even music, right? It sounds like a cheat code, right? Well, in NLP, we actually call this submodality mapping. It's a technique that can literally rewire your brain to learn faster and deeper. But here's the problem. Many people try it and they find that it doesn't work like they expect. Why is that? And that's because there's some missing key pieces.
Right.
And here's Mike Mandel in the studio
to
teach you.
Well, first of all, I'm sure most of you know what submodalities are. We're talking about typically VAK, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, which is both feeling and feelings. So it's physical, touch, and emotions run through the identical neural pathways. So when you code something in your brain, you code it with VAK. If you have a memory of something, you have coded the visual, the auditory, and the kinesthetic into a complete package. There's also an internal digital too, auditory digital, but that doesn't matter here. So everything that happens in your life, all your memories are coded automatically by your unconscious mind. I discovered years ago, if I didn't like someone, the image of them did not have legs.
Oh, interesting.
And that's how I could tell. I differentiated. Steve McGarvey said when he signed a thing for me, he said, may I always have legs in the image.
So if you don't like someone and you want to like them, you just give them legs.
Give them some legs.
All right,
give them some
there you
good
go.
legs. So all of this is happening unconsciously. Like versus dislike are coded differently. If we find something fascinating, it'll be coded in a certain way. If we find something distasteful, it'll be coded in a different way. Now, this is the same with learning. And when we change the code, we change the kinesthetic feeling associated with it as well.
Right.
That's what we keep in mind here. You could change the visuals on something, the intensity, the color, push it further away, all of these things, but that will also have, likewise, produce a change in the feelings, the kinesthetic system.
Okay, so if we were to say, let's pick something like math that we want to learn, because that was the example given to us by our student Matt.
Yeah.
And we're really good at guitar, but we're not so good at math.
You
we don't have a good. Yeah, there you go. It's like I have a great feeling about guitar. I love it. I code it in all the right ways, and maybe I'm not coding math in that way. So how can we steal the submodalities from guitar land and bring them into calculus and algebra?
And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes just changing the submodalities will change everything. But there's other aspects to this. It doesn't always work. But why would it fail? The missing ingredients, basically the map is not the territory. This is a classic thing from NLP, meaning if you confuse the map with the territory, with the reality, it's the same as going into a restaurant and eating the menu instead of eating the food. You're eating the map. So
doesn't sound very appetizing.
No, and it's not going to taste very good. That's for sure. So what do we mean by this? We mean if you change the map, it will have a result, but you've not changed physical reality at the same time. You can change all the VAK to match something that you love, and make it match the math visuals, auditory and kinesthetic, but it still isn't giving you the skill or the knowledge to do math. It's just got you more interested in it.
Okay, let's make this a little bit real for people who are new to the idea of submodalities.
Right.
And so let's say you had asked me, okay, Chris, you're great at guitar and you suck at math and you want to get really great at math. And you ask me some questions to elicit my submodalities with guitar. It might be, when you imagine yourself playing guitar, what do you see? And I go, well, I see like, you discover that I'm associated looking through my own eyes, and I see this bright, wonderful colored imagery and the fast motion, and I'm hearing sounds, and I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling physically and the emotions that are tied to it. So you'd elicit all that information, and then you'd help me map that across to, when you imagine doing math, what do you imagine? And then I would describe it, and you would ask me to change it.
Yeah, what do you see, hear, and feel? Yeah.
But that wouldn't actually change my knowledge or skill with math.
No, and that's the key point here. VAK, changing the VAK is great, but it isn't the skill or knowledge itself which you still need. Now, there's a great example here from Richard Bandler.
I wonder where this is going.
I love this example.
Okay.
He talked about in one of his trainings, a man who wanted to be better at math. And Bandler's a good mathematician.
Okay.
And he had pulled out a sheet of all algebra equations, differential equations, and the guy just looked at it, was stunned, didn't have a clue what he was doing, hated it, just put him in a stressful state because he bombed out in school. I mean, I'm fleshing out the story here.
Okay, so he's like, he's firing the negative.
It could have been me, in fact. It could have been me, because I carried grade 11 math to summer school, failed it constantly, even though my dad was a good math teacher, failed it. So Bandler then takes out a Playboy centerfold of this gorgeous woman.
Might be a little bit more interesting to the man.
I'm sorry, I can never remember the ending of that. Anyway, so he gets the guy to look at the math. Stare at it, close your eyes, open your eyes. He's got the centerfold there. The guy goes, Close your eyes. Open them. He switches it back and forth multiple times between the sheet of differential equations and this beautiful naked woman.
So he's basically screwing up the guy's ability to access that disinterested state.
Yeah, so that's the technical term, screwing up that ability. So now I think he got him to shake it off.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, and he puts the math sheet in front of him again. And the guy's eyes, his pupils dilate and everything, goes, holy crap, this works. The math was suddenly interesting to him. Now, that's not conferred mathematical ability to him, though. It just means all of a sudden, math is not something to be dread. It's brought in all these wonderful submodalities.
I think if you were to, speaking of math, and so science and physics are related.
Playboy, yeah.
If you can think of this as the potential energy, you're not getting let's say a car is at the top of a hill and it's about to be pushed down and roll and gather some momentum.
Yeah.
It has potential energy, gravitational potential energy, but that doesn't start to become motion. That doesn't become actual motion and kinetic energy until you push it. So you have that potential energy now. You've got those submodalities that have primed you to be interested in the topic. So now you can actually go and learn the topic.
Right. We love the example. I told you this one this morning. If you have a car that's malfunctioning, the engine's not doing very well, you can give the car a coat of paint, but it's not going to improve the engine. It's not going to improve the performance. And that's what we mean. You change the submodality to change how you feel about the subject, but that does not automatically confer expertise in that area.
That's a great metaphor. I mean, giving your car, a fresh coat of paint or detailing the inside doesn't make it actually run any better. It might just make you more interested in having it fixed.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, it's easy to learn something if it's interesting. But before you start, there is something that can hold us back. And Matt brought this example up in his question. Limiting beliefs. Unconscious limiting beliefs can stop you making progress on this stuff. So if you have this limiting belief, no one in my family can do math, or no one in my family can lose weight, whatever it is, you can change the submodalities. But that is going to be running in the background very, very powerfully to prevent you getting ahead and changing things. So what we have to do instead is just jumping in and changing submodalities, clear the limiting beliefs first. So the best example, use the triple warmer thing I teach. Tapping here, between the baby finger and the ring finger in the channel.
We'll get Ross to zoom in on this,
zoom in.
Show this.
You're getting any glare off my watch as I'm doing this? I'm just wondering. Here we are. So you tap here and make some solid I am statements. Do it for about 20, 30 seconds.
I am fascinated by mathematics.
I find mathematics wonderful.
Calculus is interesting.
I love learning math.
I'm enjoying the process of getting better at this every day.
Math looks like a centerfold to me. Well, you wouldn't use that one. But you keep all these statements. This gives you a window. This will not necessarily clear your limiting belief permanently, but it will take a big chunk of its power away. Then you immediately do your submodality shifts.
Right.
Now, once you have done this, you can change the submodalities. You must do the third step. And again, Matt had seen this coming. You have to condition it in.
Condition it in.
What do we mean by condition it in?
Well, condition, I think metaphorically, like physical condition, and well, both of you and I are in workout mode these days. So the idea of conditioning it in, condition the process so it is no longer difficult. It's just normal. Build those new neural pathways. So you start conditioning in. You get in the zone. You do that all the time. Just get in the zone. You can break your bad beliefs, so-called bad beliefs. That'll happen the first time, but just get in the zone anyway.
Yep.
Then immediately start doing stuff. Cue up the right submodalities. Cue up the right submodalities, and then just start doing the thing that you're learning.
Interact with the topic. If it's math, start reading some math. Talk to somebody about it. Watch a video on math, and you're now using that ability to see it in a new light and conditioning it in right away. When you do that, this will get much, much easier to take in any new topic.
Perfect. So in a nutshell, what we're talking about here is that you have to learn a subject by actually learning it. Now, you can switch the submodalities, steal the submodalities from something that you're already really good at or really interested in and map them over to the thing that you would like to be interested in, but you still have to actually do the work to get good at it.
Yes, there's no substitute for actually doing the work. But this will cause you to activate your brain to learn faster in any topic, to approach it with a better attitude and with way less stress. So change the beliefs around it first. fix the submodality so they match something you love and are fascinated by, and then condition it in immediately.
All right, so if you want to learn more about this topic, head on over to MikeMandelHypnosis.com. You can study hypnosis with us at the Mike Mandel Hypnosis Academy, or if you're just interested in learning things for yourself, making your own life better, but you don't necessarily want to be a hypnotist, check out the Brain Software Syndicate. It's a low-cost membership. There's tons and tons of free resources included in that membership, and it's a great community of people like you who are smart and motivated and want to live a better life. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks once again, and good night.